at Government House. I'm Regis Cartwright. This is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the start of another work week and the start of another show. It's great to have you all joining us today. Of course, the big story tonight is an early morning multi-agency operation on the ground in Norman's Key following reports of immigration breaches. And this, of course, includes allegations of individuals residing and working on the island without valid documentation. Now, we can tell you inside sources did tell ZNS News that close to $500,000 were discovered in outstanding national insurance fees. Aside from that, there were numerous breaches like persons working outside the scope of their work permits. You can also tell you the Department of Immigration is stressing that the Bahamas is a country governed by the rule of law, and of course that it will not tolerate the mistreatment of displacement of Bahamian workers in their own country, nor will it turn a blind eye to the violation of the immigration laws. Immigration obviously very serious about that. It bodes to what has transpired already. We're gaining more insight pretty much in what transpired last week at the Norman's Key development in Exuma. On Friday, we did report to you that there were mass firings at that site, prompting an emergency meeting between the development's principals and labor officials. Now, Corval Python tells us how this matter now appears to be a case of where there's smoke, there's not always fire.
Tonight, Director of Labor Howard Thompson addressing the Norman's Key development affair, calling the matter complicated but appearing hopeful that there is light at the end of the tunnel. His comments come in the wake of downsizing and restructuring exercises at the remote private island off the Exumas, where at least 30 people, 10 of them foreign workers, were laid off last week. Thompson confirming in a statement that he, along with Labor Minister Pia Glover-Roll, participated in a Zoom meeting with officials from the development, describing those discussions as productive. Thompson saying, quote, "Past mistakes by the company were admitted and a firm resolution for those mistakes to never happen again was communicated." This restructuring exercise at Norman's Key follows earlier claims of alleged abuses and labor violations at the development, which prompted a multi-agency investigation, resulting in the work permits of 3 senior expat executives being canceled. Thompson acknowledges that this was a blow to the project and partly why this restructuring is happening. Since that day, the entire development, including on the hotel side, Thompson says, was being run and operated without very senior executives or representatives of the owners of the development, impacting, he says, the fiscal and business side of their operations. Following that earlier investigation, Labor Minister Glover-Roll addressed the matter with ZNS News, insisting at the time that the allegations made were being taken seriously, vowing then to get to the bottom of the issue.
Some consequences that are being felt, and we're looking to ensure that we protect workers across our country, in particular on those remote keys where there's the thought that they're so far away that nobody's watching. Well, the Bahamas Department of Labor and the Bahamas Immigration Department, we are watching.
Meanwhile, Thompson says the department will mobilize to assist those Bahamian workers who have been disengaged, and a meeting, he says, is planned for those remaining workers still engaged as a means of allaying fears and concerns. He expressed optimism that new opportunities for Bahamians at the Norman's Key site should come on stream later this year.
Good job there for the Department of Labor, right? Because we've been saying this for some time now, is that people are not taking the laws and the labor laws of this country serious enough. And you have foreigners and foreign investors who continue to prey on the, on the goodness of the Bahamian people. And it is about time that we take action and put them out. I don't care how much millions they're spending in the country. Nothing can be compared to a dollar value when it comes to the treatment of Bahamian workers throughout the Bahamas. If they are found in breach of treating Bahamians fairly, they're to be fined heavily, take all their money, and send them home. we will not sit back and idly watch Bahamians being treated ridiculously or like slaves. This ain't an era of slavery. If you thought you came to the Bahamas to run a plantation, wrong country, wrong corner, wrong island, wrong street. Our people ought to be treated respectfully, ought to be dealt with respectfully, and in return, they will respect you. But when you try to avoid our laws and abuse and mistreat Bahamians, you are asking for a one-way ticket home. And there ought to be no compromise from any government in that regard. Bahamian people ought to be respected, and the laws of the Bahamas ought to be enforced. And we ought to see that happening on every front. Listen, people will get away with what you allow them to get away with. They recognize that you will not tolerate it. They will fall in line and do the right thing. And I believe that we ought to take a stand and ensure that we welcome you to our country. We welcome you to participate in our economy. We welcome you to do well in our economy. But we will not welcome you to abuse, mistreat, or violate any of our laws or the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's not negotiable. All right, that's enough said on that. Tonight we're going to be starting off early talking politics. I know Tuesdays we normally have our round table. They'll be here tomorrow to talk politics. But tonight we have a serious subject to take on, and that, of course, is what may have been transpiring in the African headquarters. You may have heard about an incident that happened at the Free National Movement's headquarters last week. We have an FNM executive on tonight, executive in the branch, who will tell what she claims is a real story. You don't want to miss it. And I'll set the background for you, because I know how y'all go. Y'all going to be calling and texting. I on y'all run tonight. Don't do it. So let me tell you right off the top. You may have heard last week there was a meeting with former Cabinet Minister Raymond Wells by the party's leader. And he graciously told Raymond Wells, sit down, step aside. You're in a pot. And no one likes to hear... I shouldn't be laughing. No one likes to hear you're not a part, right? Because you always want to belong. You always want to be a part. But apparently the FNM gave Raymond Wells the boot and said, you're not running in the next election. Sit small. We got a little something for you. You could be that. It'll be successful. But you're going to be this. And that obviously created a stir. And it has caused serious upset in the FNM. And we're going to talk to the chairman of that branch, who is all out, gloves, for our party tonight. And then a little later, a gentleman will talk to us who said, I told you a long time, get out, like he got out because trouble in the camp. Well, we're going to talk to them tonight and hear what this story is. And then a little later, we always like to take you out on a lighter note and some good news and some positive news with an organization that's been around for about 60 years, Toastmasters. After we done get a little ghetto, we're going to be polished by the end of the show. So stick around. The rundown. We get started. It's an exciting show. We're going to get hot up in here. Right after the break, we're back after this. Stay close.
To get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desks. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special. Restrictions apply.
As we continue to develop the orange economy of the Bahamas and empower our artists and artisans, we as a government intend to show tangible support. We are therefore requesting our Bahamian artists and artisans to submit images of their handmade, authentically made Bahamian products and prices as we move to produce a live digital booklet with Bahamian-made works. With the creation of a live booklet, artisans can always submit new works to be included. It is our intent to use this book as a catalog for the purchase of items by all senior government officials for gifts, display items, and the like. Ministers, permanent secretaries, members of parliament, and ambassadors will be supporting our orange economy by the purchase of items and in sharing this book to to the wider global creative community. We are committed to grow and expand the orange economy of the Bahamas.
Welcome back to the Rundown. Of course, a special good night to those of you who are online in the lines, and I see you. And then, of course, those of you who are joining us on your various platforms, YouTube, or Flow TV, cable TV, around the country or in the Turks and Caicos Islands, around the region and around the world. Welcome to the Rundown. It's great to have you. Well, we received reports there was an alleged war of words that took place at the Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters late last week. Now, while the party's top brass remained tight-lipped on exactly what happened, we were told that former Member of Parliament for Bamboo Town and former F&M Cabinet Minister Renford Wells reportedly did not receive the party's nomination to run again on the 2026 ticket. Now, Wells would not deny or confirm his nomination when contacted by ZNS News on this particular matter. However, the chairman of the Free National Movement, Bamboo Town Association, Monique Seymour, joins us tonight to clarify what happened and what they hope to see in next year's general elections. Ms. Seymour, welcome to the Rundown. It's great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about this, because we heard when the story broke, and of course we tried to go and follow up on it and get information on it. Free National Movement, very tight-lipped. Michael Pintard refused to speak to our news crew on it. What transpired that led to this?
Well, just before Friday, we were canvassing Bamboo Town constituency of 14 polling poll divisions.
And that's a normal thing. For people who don't understand, that's what you do leading up to the general elections. You check the area out, see what is what, see what people are thinking, what people are saying, right?
Feeling the grounds, that's right. We were in and out for weeks and weeks doing what we had to do. They asked for data. We gave data. The data was too good for Mr. Renford Wells for the overwhelming support that people want Mr. Wells back in the Bamboo Town constituency.
They wanted him back.
They wanted him back, especially the older folks. When you knock on those doors, that people that own homes, not the apartments, because people move in and out, the homes. The 50 age bracket to like 80, 90-year-old, those are the persons like were crying for Mr. Wells. When he come, they were just grabbing onto him like, you back, you know? Wow. So we gave them our reports, we gave them our overview. Then they sent their coordinators that the leadership team picked.
Wow.
And they sent them into the constituency unbeknown to us. And they got good reports as well, that all was well in Bamboo Town.
Wow. So
the coordinators took it at council last Thursday. They spoke what happened. Wellington Bug Smith, he was the lead coordinator for the Bamboo Town, the Southern Zone, and he explained what happened. He voiced his opinion, he voiced his concern, and he stated what the people wanted in Bamboo Town.
And that was Renford Wells?
Renford Wells. That was Thursday, prior to the meeting on Friday. Thursday night, council. Friday morning, Mr. Wells got a call to come in. He went in. 4 hours they kept that man there for. 4 hours. Just to tell him he didn't have the nomination.
Why? Why wouldn't he have the nomination if the reports were people wanted him?
First of all, quote, the leader and the chairman said health reasons. Mr. Wells came back with a perfect bill of health from across America, not the Bahamas, across the waters. That was one of the stories. Then the other story was nobody wants him in Bamboo Town. But the coordinators came back and
said otherwise.
Okay. Then the other story is financially he can't support it. Okay. Every other week, we're doing light bills, groceries, we're walking the streets. It has to cost money to be in the constituency. So that was another lie. It was just lies after lies after lies after lies. It's like they need to find the story, what they really want to tell. But I'm saying, and I can say this on national TV, that they are envious and jealous of Mr. Renford Wells. He has too much going on up here. The leader said to himself that Renford is too smart and educated to be a politician. So they tried to offer him a package. Why would I accept a package not knowing if the F&M would win? Let me try my hand as a candidate and see if I can win so that I can represent the people in Bamboo Town, because I know I am a good MP. That's what Mr. Wells is saying to them. But they don't want to give him the chance. They just finding all these different things, theory this, theory that. This what to say, that's to say, everything but the truth. The truth is, they don't want to run him.
So they offer him a package. In other words, if the government wins, we'll make you this, we'll give you this, so that you could feel like you're getting something.
Yes.
Just don't run. If the writing on the wall says you want him, why would a leader who's trying to become prime minister and be elected not want to go with what the data is saying? It was another concern with Dr. Minnis, what was considered a sure seat to help arm you to win the elections. Why are you gambling with what could possibly be sure seats? What is the message you think they're trying to get across?
I think he's trying to write he's a poet. I think he's trying to write a script. Is the Dundas still in operation? He wants to get into Dundas and not in Parliament. He sure does not want to be the Prime Minister. Not the way he's acting, not the foolishness he's doing, nothing. He's just swallowing everything with people just throw it down his throat. He's not acting like a man of your word. Another thing that he said to us, I never was going to run Mr. Wells.
That's what he said?
He said that. He said, I was not ever going to run Mr. Wells. I say, so why would you make a fool out of the association? Just in February 1st of this year, 2025, this year, we had a meet and greet breakfast. We went to the process, put in for we having something. It was granted. So if you know you wasn't going to run him, why would you have a meet and greet breakfast? Why do you have us walking the street? One thing I know, I am no fool, and I'm not going to let the leader nor the chairman make a fool out of Monique Michelle Seymour. No.
What will you do if they decide that they're not going to run him, as they've said, and they stick to that? What are you going to do, you and the other members of the association?
Well, I can really only speak for me, but my whole association is behind me. You know, they even went as far as to tell the other news media that it's only me one. But what I did, I let the reporter called everybody personal, and the same message that I'm relaying to you, they related to the other reporter. So it's lies everywhere. But I know I won't walk the ground for nobody other than Mr. Renwood Wells.
You won't walk the ground?
I won't walk. And my association won't walk. And
the rumors have been said that they're trying to, I guess, allegedly run Heather Hunt. You don't believe she would be able to win Bambootown?
I can't say. The people really don't know Heather. When I went to a couple of the older folks, like I just said earlier, they don't know her. They don't know of her, you know? Yes, she's the former senator. She plays a role in DFNM, but for Bambootown, no. Heather Hunt is canvassing in Freetown. She just had a fish fry on Saturday past. So why would you throw something down somebody's throat? She wants to be in Freetown. Give her what she wants. Give Mr. Wells what she wants. Give the Bambootown Association some respect and give them what they want. Let us go into the battlefield and see if we can win or if we lose. At least we tried. But I know the team that Bambootown has, we are the strongest in all the association. And I would reiterate that we are the strongest in all the association that the FNM has.
If the FNM does not run Renwood Wells, are they putting that seat in jeopardy?
Most certainly. But I'm trying to see that if Mr. Wells would go independent.
You'd want him to go independent against the FNM?
I would want him to go independent against the FNM. It's either going to be Mr. Wells or it'll be the PLP.
This sentiment that you just expressed seems to be happening. Kalani, people are saying the same thing. What is happening to the FNM if supporters, strong supporters like yourself, are saying at the end of the day, if you're not going to listen to the people of the party, we're going to go against the party? The FNM should be very concerned about this happening.
Quote unquote, they're not concerned. You know, they told us, carry our out the door. So if I can carry my out the door, but guess what? I have sons, they have wives, they have girlfriends. They live in Bambootown. According to just one person, I have 17 votes.
Just you?
Just me. With the association, we have 102 persons. The association, the campaign workers, and the polling captains, we have 102 votes among us. So they're putting that seat in great jeopardy, but they don't see it. It's either you with us or you against us, so leave. That's what they are portraying every day. Social media, that's all they're doing. But one thing I can say with the people in Bambootown, the older person don't know about Facebook, they don't know about TikTok,
True.
and they don't know about WhatsApp. So it is what it is. You know, I made a post today, and they had rude comments under the post, but it didn't bother me, it didn't matter. There will always be rude comments. But those persons, 80% of the person that answer don't live in Bamboo Town, and the other ones, they are fools because they don't know what's going on in Bamboo Town. And furthermore, the old persons that I knock on their door, oh, they love Massimo. They love Massimo. I was on the phone up to 11:40 with two of the constituents, 74 and 82, up to 11:40 this morning.
Wow. Why do you think, I know you probably can't get it in his head, but why do you think the leader is doing this? Do you believe he's trying to distance himself from the previous administration, which is hard because he would have nominated Marvin Dames, he would have nominated, I think Michael Folks is expected to get the nomination as well. People who were in the last administration. So it's kind of uncertain as to what he's trying to present for the new F&M.
That's a big joke, because how could you distance yourself from something that you were a part of?
True.
It makes no sense. To me, envy, vindictive, rude, and nasty and condescending. That's what he is. As a leader, he shows no respect. You could just watch and see everything glitter. It ain't gold. Be on the inside and hear and feel and taste what we are feeling.
What do you say to the Bahamian people and even constituents in Bamboo Town tonight who's hearing this and saying, well, I don't know if I want that kind of person as a prime minister. I don't know if I want that kind of person running the country. Do you feel as if you're jeopardizing or hurting your party's chances at the polls?
You're hurting your party chances at the poll. You're also hurting the people that respects and want to put Mr. Wells in the seat in Parliament to serve them. You're also doing that. You're hurting Mr. Wells. You're hurting the elderly persons that depend on Mr. Wells. We're a phone call away. I know you saw little videos and stuff going around. When some of the persons see Mr. Wells, they thought they saw Jesus. I was afraid. I thought Jesus had come when we were camping in some of the polling divisions. That's how the people miss Mr. Wells.
I want to go back to why you believe that he personally will not want to run Mr. Wells. And we talked about it off camera, and you believe it's also an intimidation tactic, that he might perhaps be afraid that he can be challenged in the future by Mr. Wells?
Of course, most certainly. Everybody is saying that. Like I said, I spoke to the older persons, not the Facebook critics. The older person that can vote in Bamboo Town and who would be voting in Bamboo Town. You know, a lot of persons are saying now they would not go to the polls. You know, it's hard to know that. I've voted in about 10 or 12 elections and 2026 because I didn't get the candidate of my choice. I ain't going to the polls. When the older persons are telling you that, come on, man.
Do you believe people will stay home if they get a candidate of their choice?
I will. My family will. The 17 votes that I have will.
You will stay home from voting?
I will stay home. I guarantee you that.
Is the F&M imploding, in your view?
Has imploded already.
Wow.
That's how serious it is. Don't mind what you see on the outside. Get inside some of those council meetings. Get inside. Let persons that sit on council tell you. But you know, everybody's afraid.
Why are they afraid?
The gun is at the head. The rabbit has the gun. The trigger only have to pull. A lot of people are kissing up and sucking up for nomination. A lot of persons are sucking up and waiting on if the F&M win what they're going to get or what they were promised. We're in Bamboo Town. We ain't standing for what if. We want to go head on and win our seat and make ourselves count in Parliament and make ourselves count in Bamboo Town. But they're not giving us the chance.
That's right. Is there an opportunity for the F&M to reconsider their decision?
Most definitely they have MCMs. MCMs are sitting with their mouth pinned. Hierarchies in the party are sitting with their mouth pinned. All they're doing is trying to offer Mr. Wells a package. I think it's sad when you're not giving me an opportunity and you know I am capable of producing what I can do. It's sad. It's a sad day in the F&M.
Seymour, thank you for talking with us. Hopefully things work out in your favor, and the country is watching to see what will happen.
Well, I hope it works in my favor, but the leader said what he had to say. you know, and then they're spewing lies otherwise also. So it is what it is.
So for the record, you know for a fact the leader has said to him they're not going to run him.
The leader said to him hours before he said to us, he told us he is not running Mr. Wells, and he had no intentions of running Mr. Wells.
He told that to you?
He told us he had no intentions of running Mr. Wells, never ever. All of us that were in that room said, you'd never told us it. But wow. He said he did.
Ms. Seymour, thank you for coming in the rundown tonight. We appreciate it.
It was a pleasure being here tonight.
And stay with us. When we come back, we talk to someone who said he saw the writing on the wall a long time. That's why he ran from the F&M. We'll talk to Richard Johnson about this latest development. We're back after this. Stay close.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer, Mark, crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
For us at the Myers Group of restaurants, we found that we have a pretty large portion of our employment pool that had difficulty getting bank accounts.
The issue we had previously was just getting cash, getting funds on the island. And with only one working ATM, the idea of the sand dollar just in being digital, and everybody has a smartphone nowadays, it actually worked into our favor.
The sand dollar was like a godsend because it allowed us to add it to our payroll system, which means we're able to send their money to the sand dollar wallet.
It's still a bank transfer because you get an account number. So from the employer side of things, all I have to do is send your funds just as usual.
It opens up our pool for us to be able to hire some of the people that we couldn't hire before because they were unable to open bank accounts. This has been a really good solution.
Welcome back. Well, he makes it clear that he's a no-nonsense man when it comes to Bahamian politics, and he minces no words when he wants to say how he feels. Political strategist and former Free National Movement Vice Chairman Richard Johnson Jr. is back on the rundown tonight to share his views on the Free National Movement's candidate selection for Bamboo Town and other political stories catapulting on the national scene. It's always good to have you, Richard Johnson. Welcome back to the rundown.
It's always good to be here, and good evening to your listeners.
Are you surprised at what's happening with the F&M?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Clint, we have to be very clear on the leadership of the Free National Movement. They came in with the agenda to destroy any and everybody who they see as a challenge, a threat to their leadership. And they have been doing that very well. They have been able to ostracize people. They've been able to put together a botched convention last year, to a rigged convention to get rid of persons. They've been able to get rid of the former Prime Minister. Now you see what happened to former Minister Wells. This is the leadership of the Free National Movement. It is totally unprecedented.
One might say, well, that's the way you view it, but others might say what they're doing is giving the Bahamian people what they want.
Right.
Bahamian people rejected these persons, and so maybe the strategy of the F&M to get reelected, to present a new F&M with new people, new candidates, people who they feel can see the vision for the future. I'm certain that's probably what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, you saw that's very much hypocritical. It's very much duplicitous, because when they would have ratified the 17 candidates, what they did last month, the public railed against it because they saw the same of the same old. And so that's not the facts. The facts is Renard Wells and others did not support Michael Pintard leadership. He's very personable, he's petty, he's vindictive, he's spiteful, and anybody who, again, I repeat, who do not kiss his ring, you're not gonna, the F&M were built of men and women who formed the party in 1970 or 72, where they left the PLP to build the party of the same things that what is happening now in the Free National Movement today. Clint, you have men and women who are sitting in the council, sitting in the party. No, it's wrong, you know. they will tell you on the side. They will tell you they see you on the street. Oh, I didn't like that. That was not right. That was totally out of order. You should be back in the party. I don't like the way they treated you. I didn't like that. But they will not open their mouth. They will not say that was wrong because, again, the leadership of the Free National Movement, they deal with you very stiff arm. They will deal with you very severely. You see what they do to me? I was physically attacked at the FNM headquarters. I received a death threat and so forth, and I had a legal call battle. And so, again, this is the thuggery and the bigotry that spews in the Free National Movement today. And anybody who is opposed to them, they will feel the wrath of Michael Pintat and Dwayne Sands.
For Reverend Wells, you obviously knew Reverend Wells. You've talked to him, spoken with him, worked, no doubt, with him. This must be difficult because when he's pretty young, he's not an old person, and he has been in government before, no doubt has aspiration to probably be there again. This would be a difficult pill for him to swallow.
Absolutely. Reverend Wells served as acting Prime Minister at one point under the former minister administration. He served as Minister of Agriculture and Local Government. He went on to Minister of Health at some point. And so again, ministers saw the potential in Reverend Wells. Reverend Wells served in the Progressive Liberal Party. I believe he was very instrumental in their campaigns, so their slogans, believe in Bahamians, that campaign. And so Reverend Wells is an astute politician who is he's a given man, Clint. He is about the people. He's not about himself. I've seen Wells sit in rooms with people who had issues with him before. As you see him, I always call him, you stay in the church, because he's always quoting scriptures about the biblical terms, about the Bible, and how we are to treat one another as God people. And so Reverend Wells has a lot to offer. Served as former cabinet minister, and let me tell you what he was able to do. He was able to turn that seat, run for the PLP, and run for the FNM and win within the same, almost the same election cycle. And so, again, that says a lot about him as an individual. And I will tell you, I walked on the ground with him some months ago, about a year ago, and I can tell you, the people love Reverend Wells in Bamboo Town. And so when I would have heard the chairman, Monique Seymour, brought those points, she's absolutely correct in saying that, listen, we go on the ground, we canvass the area, we also do our background check, we do our data. When Mr. Wells, the headquarters that he was using, if he goes there for a meeting, Clint, just for a meeting with his team, residents flock the office because they think he's in there, and they stop by and he hail them, and he's still doing things for people, Clint. And so, again, he was still relying on getting the nomination. Persons were telling him, don't worry about that, boy, they go overlook that, because we want use our man in Bamboo Town. And again, Michael Pintar tell him emphatically, you're not going to get it.
What do you make as the method here, right? Because I'm writing it down, and we saw what happened. Killarney, which is traditionally a safe seat for the FNM, now in toss-up mode because he has said he will not run the former prime minister there, who has a strong following there, which means, and the former prime minister says he will run regardless.
Yes, yes.
Which means what the scenario we see here playing out will be the FNM will have a candidate, Dr. Minnis most likely will run independent, and then you have the PLP's candidate, coalition candidate, and anybody else who shows up. That now puts Killarney a sure seat for the FNM. It now puts it in play for anybody.
Right.
Then you see going into South Beach.
Right.
The constituency, branch constituency said they wanted Jamal Moss.
Right.
The FNM turned around and said, well, we're giving you
what we want.
What we want.
Yeah,
and they ended up giving them.
Ingram still calling the shots in the FNM.
Right. So they ended up giving them Darren Henfield.
Yes.
Against the branch. So the branch there is upset.
Yes.
Then you look in Bamboo Town. Bamboo Town is saying, the constituency branch is saying, we want Reverend Wells. They're now allegedly turning around and saying, we're not running Reverend Wells, we're going to give you somebody else. Right. You already have 3 constituencies where the branches are not happy with the party.
Right.
What could be the method or what is the plan? By upsetting your branches, which are your foot soldiers, to win an election? What is, I'm trying to follow what is the play.
You're trying to grasp as to, what are you doing?
What is the rationale?
Do you want to win?
Right, because you're destroying or you're tampering with constituencies where your soldiers are in seats that you perhaps could pick up as a win. You're taking them out of play.
They don't care. Let me give you the flip side of this. The Constitution speaks specifically, Clint, when a individual opposes the party, just say you were a former member and you ratified as an independent for another party. They have amended they ratified the Constitution in 2016 that discipline any member who goes on the side of that to now, if you challenge the party. So here's the scenario now. Menace is still a sitting member of Parliament for the FNM. So when you ratified someone Galani now, should that rule apply to you? Because he haven't ratified at all. He didn't say nothing. He just given sound bites and talking to the media, as he should. So when you ratified somebody in Galani on Thursday of this week, are you in violation of the Constitution of the FNM? Because if Menace ratifies today as an independent, he's in violation. They will get rid of him quick. Right. And so does the rule apply to you? It doesn't. This crew, I tell you again, Clint, the last time I was here, they are lawless. If they cannot govern by their own Constitution, Clint, they will not be able to run this country, and they will not be governed by the Constitution of the Bahamas. But let me tell you what I have, Clint. I have this thing, right? And this is a prescription. It ain't for me. But for some people in the FNM, they need to take these things on time. Because obviously they're not functioning properly. Because they're doing things, Clint, and you can hear it. Now I drink coffee in the morning, so this ain't my dose. But seriously, they need to take some of these regular and take them on time. If they take these on time, Clint, trust me, they ain't gonna have no problem. They gonna function properly. And no offense to people who have to take these, you know, I find members have to take these too. But again, take it. Take your medicine. Because you are clearly walking backwards. You do not want to win. You are not in the business of trying to bring unity together. This is Michael, Pintard, and Dwayne Sand's party. But here's the point. Why Dwayne Sand's don't go run in Kalani? Let's have a show off. You're running scared. You don't go to Elizabeth because you know the form of the minister will beat you, the powders. But now I understand you and go in Shudden Shores. No. Go back in Elizabeth. You know where you can't go back there? Beaten. Again, Clint, they need to take their medication. They're unstable. And when you talk about Wells having financial issues, well, a lot of people are running for politics. Not necessarily all of them have the means to run. They are relying on donors. But you know, when Michael Pintard talked about Wells being broke, well, Pintard is broke in ideas. He's broke in leadership. He's broke and incompetent. He's a failure. He's broke to run this country. He's broke because he can't be prime minister material. They need to stop it. If they want to win, Clint, this shenanigans has to stop. You heard what Monique said earlier. And I literally go by Monique House. We're very close. Monique have literally almost 17 votes in the House. What do you think is going to happen now? And she is the breadwinner of the House. What is going to happen? They're going to go where Monique say go. But these people don't care. Politics, Clint, is about numbers.
And I was calling out the different constituencies. Somebody said to me online just now that you forgot Central Grand Bahama as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, of course, the MP there has crossed the floor, the coalition.
Yeah.
And so with four constituencies
let me leave this right here.
feeling frustrated, do you anticipate that is all? Or do you
no, there are more. I think Long Island is next. I think they're going to try mess with Adrian Gibson. And, you know, that's just what they're going to be doing. All right? Again, you wonder why you do this now. Why you didn't do this a year ago? You're now moving into...
Is it early enough to do this, and then after you finish doing... It's like a surgeon, after you finish cutting...
I believe it's late in doing
surgery,
this. You should have done this. You should have done this probably a year ago. Right. All right? I believe that the pre-LP will call an early election. Right. I don't think they're going to go beyond September. I think September. But the PLP, in my view, Clint, is battle. They look battle ready. They look poised to win the government. They are prepared to win the government. And so again, the Free National Movement, who have lesser time on their hand, because you're not running a country, you're supposed to be poised. You're supposed to look polished to win the government. Again, take your medicine. If you take your medicine on time, Clint, you'll be stable. And you'll get good leadership.
Richard Johnson, thank you.
Thanks for having me, Clint. But you got to take on time.
Toastmasters is up next. We're back after this.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas' striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3 Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3 Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3 Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Public Hospitals Authority wishes to advise the public that during a storm, hospital visitation hours, specialty clinics, rehabilitation and outpatient services, with the exception of the emergency department, are suspended. The public is asked to pay particular attention to announcements prior to and during the storm for information about the suspension or the resumption of hospital visitation hours, specialty clinics, rehabilitation or outpatient services, and the rescheduling of appointments, elective, and other surgeries. If you have a loved one in hospital, speak with the nurse in charge of his or her care to provide necessary items for your loved one prior to the storm's arrival.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lapinder.
Finally tonight, the first Bahamas branch of Toastmasters Club 1600 was chartered 60 years ago here in the capital. Since then, members have followed the club's mandate of providing a supportive and positive learning environment where every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills. Right now, Club 1600 has a membership of, get this, over 250 individuals. They meet every Thursday to strategize how they plan to impact the country. Joining us tonight is President number 61, Jamal Cooper, and Vice President of Education, Azano Major. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the rundown. Great to have you with us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
So, obviously, what inspired you to take on the role of president? I just got to ask that of Club 1600. You know, people like to go to Toastmasters when it's time to step forward in leadership. Only the strong survive.
Yes.
What inspired you to do this?
Thank you, Mr. Watson. What inspired me to join Toastmasters or become president?
Become president, yes.
Become president. Well, when I first joined Toastmasters, I was all about personal development.
Yeah.
But I had a desire, over time I matured, and I had a desire to inspire, a desire to lead. And I want to give back to the community that helped shape me to be the individual that I am today, that you see before you. See, when I first joined, I had a lot of self-doubt, and I used to get nervous speaking before a crowd. But through consistent support, mentorship, and practice, I found my voice.
And perhaps it's probably one of the most, I think, probably single most, I guess, common thing people in Toastmasters say. I needed to break out of that shell I was in. I needed to learn to get comfortable speaking in front of people, and that's why they go and they join Toastmasters. Tell me a little bit about Club 1600. What makes it so unique? Why don't you take that aside?
Thank you for the question. Club 1600, what makes it unique? Well, Club 1600 has the highest energy out of all Toastmasters clubs in the world. and that's over 14,000 clubs.
Wow.
It's a place, like you said, we meet every Thursday to discover how we could impact the country and by extension impact the world. And it's just a place where mentorship takes place, camaraderie takes place. It's an organization that's dedicated to fostering the individual. So that's communication and leadership development. And there's really no other organization like it in the Bahamas. Since joining, I haven't regretted it yet, and I look forward to many more dedicated years.
That's a good thing. I see here your theme for the year is building a leadership legacy. The journey continues. What does that mean for you personally and really for the club?
For me, well, I chose that theme first time because it encapsulates the enduring nature of leadership within Toastmasters. And it signifies that leadership and personal development is not a destination.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing journey. And personally, it reminds me that leadership is not about holding a title or just getting a medal or a trophy. It's about inspiring others.
You're right.
And influencing others. And
I oftentimes say that we understand, a lot of people want to aspire to leadership, but don't understand the responsibility of leadership, right? And I always tell people the responsibility of leadership is not in developing you anymore. It's now in developing the people that you lead. And it's about pouring into people and bringing the best out of them. And if you feel like you developed or you're to that place where you want to inspire somebody else, then wait your time, because it's got to be about giving back to people. What are some of the goals of the Toastmasters Club 1600 that you're going to be trying to achieve or initiatives this year?
Well, this year we want to focus on impact and growth. And this year we want to focus on achieving 40 educational goals. 40 educational goals. And also we want to recruit more new Toastmasters to our club that will enhance the diversity of our club. In addition, we want to enhance our mentorship program to provide stronger support for our new Toastmasters and hold dynamic events that promote public speaking, leadership, and professional development.
Speaking of events, are there any upcoming initiatives or events you have planned that you're doing as a club?
Yes, so one of the events we have coming up this year is our entrepreneurship panel. It's going to be in November, and it's a place where people in the Bahamas can come to learn about entrepreneurship and learn how the aspects of communication play a role in it. They always say sales is the most important thing in any organization, and learning how to communicate in Toastmasters is a direct correlation with success in business. So we look forward to the entrepreneurship panel coming up in November. And then we have many other events that happen year-round as well, such as the Neil Peseni Back to School Drive. We have a ladies' night in February. And we have many other programs every Thursday that people can come and witness what we do in Toastmasters.
And where do you meet on Thursdays?
Thursdays at the Red Cross Society, 8 p.m. on JFK Drive.
What advice, I guess, would you give to people, anyone who's thinking, okay, maybe I should join Toastmasters, but I don't know if that's my kind of thing, or what advice do you give to them?
Well, the main reason people don't want to join Toastmasters, and I always get this, is because they are afraid of public speaking.
Oh, that's the main reason why people go in there, try and break that fear.
The funny thing is, that's the reason you join Toastmasters. So it's along the quote of saying the obstacle is the way. The reason you're afraid is the reason you should join.
I like that. I like that. The reason you're afraid is the reason you should join.
Yeah.
And outside of speaking, because you may have some people who say, well, I don't mind doing Toastmasters, but I don't know if I want to be no speaker. I don't know if I want to, be able to do public speaking. Are there other people who join who necessarily, their focus isn't public speaking, but they're looking for an organization they can be a part of and be active in? Is that something Toastmasters encourages people to do as well?
Absolutely. When I first joined the club in 2019, it wasn't initially to become a public speaker. Despite already having skills to be a public speaker, I still learned a lot. I initially joined for leadership, and being on the executive, taking that leadership path, it's taken me to places that I couldn't have imagined. It's improved my skills, and even if you aren't interested in becoming a public speaker, you will become a better leader in joining Toastmasters.
How can people who are interested in joining Toastmasters, what do they need to do? Where can they find out about the information regarding meetings?
Well, you can visit our club on John F. Kennedy Drive.
Red Cross?
Yes, at the Red Cross. Our sites, you can see us on Toastmasters Club 1600 on Facebook. We have our site, club.toastmastersclub1600.org. And we're also on Instagram. That's club.1600, that's club_1600 on Instagram.
I have to ask you, because I've always said to myself, how do people who are busy working all day and have lives, families to take care of in the evenings, kids to tend to, how do they find time to commit every week to keep showing up? Because I did my research and people show up all the time consistently. You don't like, you got 5 people this week and then 100 next week. They show up consistently. What's causing that to happen?
Well, one thing about Toastmasters, we're always there. So you can learn at your own pace. You can come out at your own pace. That's the beauty of Toastmasters.
Indeed.
What do you say?
Well, it is difficult, and there's always the risk of burnout. But the truth is, when you're looking for something to improve your life, something has to be sacrificed. And if you don't sacrifice something, or if you don't know what you're sacrificing, you risk performing subpar at everything. So it is knowing what you have to pull back on, whether that's spending later nights at the after party or spending later nights
after party,
and deciding when to catch up on sleep. It's just knowing where your priorities are. It can be difficult, but once you stay the way, you'll enjoy the fruits of your work.
Now, is it correct this Club 1600 is the all-men, it's all-men club?
No.
Is that correct? I thought, you know, is that the one Dwayne is a part of?
Yes.
I have no...
So outside of the, I know we started talking about it, I wanted to go more into the detail. Outside of preparing for speeches, what are some of the things that Club 1600 has done for you, aside from just speech preparation?
In terms of, for me, it enhanced my confidence. Because if it wasn't for Toastmasters, I couldn't sit there right now and do what I'm doing.
And you're doing such a good job of it, and I was so nervous before.
Because when I went to school, well, I had a speech impediment. I used to stand before the class shaking.
Wow.
But now I'm more poised, I'm more relaxed, I'm more calm when I speak before an audience. Connect with an audience, just look everybody in their eyes, relax, and present your ideas. Because communication, what is communication? Right. Communication is transferring the ideas into your mind, a picture in your mind, into the minds of your listeners in a telling way, in an interesting, fun, and telling way. And that's what Toastmasters has helped me to hone and enhance.
But Toastmasters have provided networking opportunities. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. There are so many stories that I could recall on being able to call on members in the club, whether you're in a pinch or you need something, you need advice. I recently leaned on one of our newer members who was a professional in HR and allowed me to navigate some things, some issues I was having. And the network is only a bonus, but it's so much. So allow that to sit and realize how powerful the club is, that the network is only a bonus to the communication and the leadership.
Is Toastmasters a growing thing in the Bahamas, and how do we stack up with other clubs around the world?
Toastmasters is definitely growing. Just last year, we inducted 24 new members to our club alone.
Wow.
In the Bahamas, there's about 14 to 16 clubs, and around the world, I mean, there's no place like the Bahamas, Toastmasters. But around the world it's growing as well, and there's always a space for leadership and development. Toastmasters was founded in 1924, celebrated 100 years last year, and that's only a testament to the necessity for communication and leadership skills in the community.
Does the Bahamas stand out when you compare it to your other colleagues around the world at the international events?
Yes. Just recently we got commended on the fact that we achieved DCP goals every year for about 30 plus years.
The DCP goals, what does that mean? Because, you know, to us, we're like, okay, DCP, what that means?
That's a Distinguished Club Program.
There you go.
So we've been distinguished for 30 years plus. It might be 50 years, but 30 years to be safe.
Wow. I'll give you the final word. What do you want to say to people out there watching about Toastmasters?
Final word I'd like to say, if you're afraid of speaking inside the front of a crowd, Toastmasters is for you. It's tailored just for you. So come out to Club 1600 on Thursday at the Red Cross Society on John F. Kennedy Drive at 8 p.m. We're here for you.
I got to slip in there. Are there any requirements people need to know in order to join Toastmasters?
Yes. The only requirements are you have to be of good, sound character, and you have to be 18 plus years older. As long as you have those two qualities and you have a desire to improve your public speaking and leadership, you could walk into any Toastmasters program. You don't have to be a member. You could sit and witness the program and then decide if that club is worth it for you. As long as you have the desire, you have good moral character, and you're 18 plus, you're free to join.
Real quick, I ran out of time. What do the programs look like every week? Like, what do you particularly do? Is there a format you follow? Is it discussion? Is it just listening to people do speeches? What is it? Your speakers? What is it like, the format?
Well, every week It's packed with a dynamic program. We have a chairman, so you practice your hosting skills. We have a table topics master who asks you questions to allow you to practice your impromptu speaking skills. We have 4 speakers, 4 evaluators. We have a timer, a grammarian, an counter to ensure you're on track. And then we also have the general evaluator who evaluates the entirety of the meeting. Along with that, we have the business session, so you practice your Robert's Rules of Order. So it's a lot of high-level planning all around.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for the work you're doing and for, transforming so many people's lives. Thank you again for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
And that does it for the rundown. Be sure, of course, to stay locked on the ZNS network for the Bahamas Night at 11. It's a final newscast in the country with the latest news and information, usually with Royston Jones. Is Royston doing 11 o'clock? Well, we got a new anchor. Royston's doing the 7:30 Access Now news this week. So 11 o'clock anchor is none other than our, Corville Pyfram. You're going to get to see Corville Pyfram in the anchor chair. This, I think, will be his first week in the anchor chair. So look forward to 11 o'clock news with Corville Pyfram. For all of us here, don't forget, tomorrow night is Political Roundtable. I'm Clint Watson. Have a great evening, everyone. Good night.
At Fort Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.